Prime-time local news, serving the Lakeland and Midwest regions.
And we're in the fall season, folks. We've been complaining about not having enough sunlight, and it showed up to start off the school year on day one. Abby St. John here with Josh Ryan to bring you your news, weather, sports, and more. And looking at an interesting, busy-looking fall season for more ways than one, particularly movies, which relates to our question of the day.
Yes, a lot of movies are coming out this fall between around now and November. Lots of big named actors in these movies, and they all look really good, so they're very anticipated. Yeah, and we've kind of also complained a little bit about not having a lot of good summer movies this year. We have some big releases coming up, and there's a bunch of special viewings going on with the theater in town as well, so make sure to check that out. First, let's head out to Eric Bay with the Color Within Run.
Thanks, guys. Well, today we are kicking off our short week after the Labor Day holiday at the B. Fisher, and today we are talking about their Color Within Fun Run that will be happening this Friday here in Lloydminster. Now, they did have some problems, as the sign does say May, because they did get hailed out, but the weather is shaping to look a little bit better here this time around, so hopefully it does turn out, and they are still looking for people to get involved in a few different ways, so we're going to have all that and more here coming up, but before we get to that, we're going to head back into the studio.
Back in session, which also means school zone speed limits are also back in session. Before school started up again, the speed limit was posted at 50 kilometers per hour. Now that school is back, the speed limit is now 30 from 7:30 a.m. to 9 p.m. in all school zones. This is to prevent any accidents with drivers or students.
The faster you go, the faster bad things can happen to you. You're driving too fast, you're not paying attention to what you're doing, and as we all know, children are a little irrational, and you gotta be watching out for little kids on the road.
Having a chat with your kids about what they should look out for when walking to and from school is another way to keep them safe.
Make sure you're walking on the sidewalk, and you're gonna cross streets at marked crosswalks. You're also going to make eye contact with the driver. That's a really big takeaway. Make sure that driver knows what you're doing and you see that driver has seen you, made that eye contact, and is slowing their vehicle down.
There will be marked police cars and peace officers patrolling school zones as well as photo radar. As the roads are getting busier, there are more accidents to report. Over the long weekend, a rollover involving multiple vehicles occurred on Highway 17 this Saturday. Mid-morning on Saturday, RCMP were on the scene of a rollover involving transport trucks. The accident happened on Highway 17th North near the North Saskatchewan River Bridge. No word as to whether these were any serious injuries at the time. When Paul LaBerge set out to walk from Saskatoon to Lloydminster, he hoped that at least a few people would feel encouraged enough to open up about their own struggle with mental health. Not only did that occur throughout the trip, it helped affirm his own decision to tackle the same illness that led to the death of his father a year ago. Josh Ryan has the story.
After walking for more than 278 kilometers, Paul LaBerge sprinted to meet the crowd gathered in East Lloydminster.
I think it showed how inspiring Paul's walk has been and how people have wanted to be part of it.
The multi-day trip for Let's Walk the Talk, an initiative to raise awareness about suicide and mental health, was grueling physically and mentally for LaBerge, who was diagnosed with PTSD earlier this year in the wake of his father's suicide.
Honestly, they just turned numb. I didn't even feel anything, and it was really hard to get out of bed. And there's a lot of times when I was going through depression, I couldn't get out of bed, and that's exactly what it reminded me of.
Helping him on his journey were fellow walkers at various points along the trip and people who pulled over on the highway.
There's people that pulled over on the side of the road and shared their story about losing their son last week, or how they've had their father pass away from suicide, or just sharing in general depression and PTSD.
One driver's contact resulted in the walk trending on social media.
And he passed my number to Michael Landsberg, so that was pretty cool. Everyone is talking about it, like, Darren Drager, you name it, all of them are talking about it on Twitter.
The finish had more than 30 people walking and dozens more joining them to celebrate.
We didn't want to just talk about it, we wanted to do something about it, and so I think it's really brought awareness, which is what our whole goal was.
you should be able to open up, and it's okay to admit that when you're mentally sick. It doesn't mean you're a weak person. The longer you keep it in, if you buried it in, you might be burying yourself. So you got to let it out.
Once the proceeds are counted, which will go to the local health foundation's Project Sunrise, attention turns to next year.
So I think next year Paul has already confirmed that he'll do the walk again, and then I also heard that he was thinking about doing a PTSD walk from Cold Lake to Wainwright.
And while LaBerge wishes his father was there for the celebration, he knows what Marcel would have said.
I'm very proud of you, son.
Josh Ryan, Primetime Local News.
Families donating their metal tablespoons got the chance to see how their cutlery was being used. The unveiling of a symbolic teepee monument took place today, and our Jasmine King has more.
At Onion Lake Cree Nation, many people gathered to celebrate a grand opening for a new metal teepee, which will be hung across with metal spoons from people across the community. The idea started around 2 years ago and is finally finished.
Myself, Brenda, and Peggy initially got together to discuss how we can increase parental engagement with the school, with the education system, and also trying to bring the community together. So we were brainstorming ideas, and this project is actually adapted from a different project that started in Britain, actually.
Having many people gather together while celebrating the culture in the community means a lot to the organizers. That is one of the main things they want to accomplish with the new teepee.
The virtue that we believe in or we practice, and sharing it to the community. It's a gift giving to the community. So it's all about unifying, bringing into the community together, because we have such a diversity in our community. And so we want a sense of belonging.
A spoon may seem like a basic item, but it is one that every person has in their home, something that unifies all the spoons hung up on the teepee while also unifying families and friends.
Realistically, every home has a spoon. It's feasible for people to donate the spoon than to go out and buy something to put on there. If you look at the spoon, once it's on the teepee, it offers a wind chime, right? And so this is the largest teepee wind chime in all the world.
The spoons are engraved with the family's last name and a virtue that means something to them. New spoons will be added on and updated every Family Day. Jasmine King, Primetime Local News.
Now we're going to Eric Bay, who was on location today.
Once again, we are back here at B. Fisher, and today we are talking about the Color Within Fun Run happening this weekend, and Kim Crockett joins me now. And now, first off, I know this is your second attempt at putting this on, but can you tell us a little bit about what exactly the run is?
Sure. Well, the Color Run, this is our sixth time we've been running the event, and, well, seventh time we've been planning it after the hail out at the beginning of, or at the end of May there. But the Color Run is all about just gathering some people, having a great time for a good cause. And the cause in this case is we're raising funds and awareness for B. Fisher, and specifically working to raise funds for improvements and upgrades at our network of group homes here in Lloydminster.
And now, where did the idea kind of come from to get people together with this run and, have them get out, get active while supporting a great cause here?
Well, years ago, there was different events that B. Fisher would have put on just to, again, help to raise some funds and awareness for what's going on here within the B. Fisher world. And, some of these things, they have a certain time span that they can last, and so it was time for something new, and the Color Run, that's how it was born a number of years ago.
And now, just real quick here, can people still get involved, whether that be to just come out and participate or just check it out as an observer as well?
Absolutely. In fact, we're still taking registrations today, and we'll be taking registrations online on the Color Run website, and that's 5k.bfisher.com. We'll be taking, like I say, registrations online right up until about Wednesday evening, and if people still want to come out, they can certainly come right to the event itself, and that's at Bud Miller. Come to the picnic shelter. Registrations between 5:30 and 6:30 that evening, and then the run itself will start at 6:30 that night.
All right, thank you for this. We're going to have some more from back here again, talking Color Within Fun Run, but before we get to that, we're going to head back into the studio.
Thanks, eBay. 23 degrees, plenty of sunlight. Where was this the last 2 months, you might say? Well, at least it's here now, and hopefully we'll have a little more of it over the next couple of weeks as the school season begins. Fairly limited cloud cover. That's been the case through most of the day. Some strong winds, but it has calmed down to less than 10 kilometers per hour at the moment. 32-year high back in 2009, and +4 back in 1992 is your record low. 92, by the way, the last year that a female or male tennis player from Canada Canada made it to the quarterfinals. Bianca Andreescu, of course, if you watched her last night, is now off to the final 8 in New York. 25 degrees in Red Deer, 24 in Edmonton. Jasper still sitting pretty at 26 degrees. And in the Sask side of things, Prince Albert at 23, Melfort 20 degrees. Saskatoon also enjoying some excellent summertime weather at 25. North Battleford joins them in that temperature. Cold Lake and Meadow Lake both sitting at 23 degrees. And again, largely sunny conditions, though some increased cloud cover in Meadow Lake. Isle Lacrosse at 17, a little bit on the cooler side. Provost 26 degrees. And once again, Saskatoon and Edmonton now sitting at 24, so seem to have dropped in less than 30 seconds time. Your 3-day forecast here, 23 and 10 is the expectation for tomorrow, and again largely calm winds coming out of the east-northeast, so that should certainly feel nice and warm, although some of the edge will be taken off thanks to some cloud cover. 20 and 12 on Thursday, but increased sunlight there, and then 20 and 8 on Friday, though there's fairly heavy clouds and a stronger chance of rain, sitting at 40% chance of precipitation at the moment. So this is what we were hoping for, a little bit warmer than the average temperatures for this time of the year.
Welcome back. Well, Agricultural Minister Marie-Claude Bibeau has announced the Agri-Risk Initiatives Program is now accepting new applications. The program supports the development of new risk management tools for the agricultural sector. This year, there's a new category, micro grants, under the research and development stream. They will provide up to $25,000 per year in funding for academic research proposals that explore the development of alternative risk management tools. They can also be used to propose different ways to address issues with existing BRM programs. And a disease surveillance veterinarian with Saskatchewan's Agriculture Ministry is recommending people take precautions when handling animal carcasses following a case where 7 animals died due to anthrax. Wendy Wilkins says the precautions include wearing proper protective equipment, and she advises speaking with veterinarians to find out if there's a local risk of anthrax and whether farmers should be vaccinating their animals. The case was confirmed in the RM of Chester last week. The province is warning farmers to be on the lookout for anthrax, as changes in soil moisture from flooding or drying can cause spores to build up on pastures. And now we're going to take a look at your egg prices.
We're a part of less than 5% of Canadian auto body shops and Lloydminster's only locations with certified collision care recognition at City Centre Auto Body.
Lakeland College athletics are in the full swing of things. The women's volleyball team are now training to make it back to the top of the podium. After winning the ACAC in 2017 and 2018, plus adding a national title in 2017, the Rustlers' third-place finish last year isn't on the mind of head coach Austin Dyer.
You know, we don't worry about wins and losses, or we don't worry about the score, or what we have to do in terms of end results. We focus on improving and getting better every single day. As long as everybody's working as hard as they can and we're doing the best job that we can, the results will eventually come.
The team is adding 4 players to the roster, including Belle DeVries, who is returning after a stint playing CIS at Memorial University in Newfoundland.
With those 4 players combining with our 12 returning players, I think we're going to be pretty competitive, and it should be a pretty fun year.
The Rustlers start their season the first weekend of October, where they will host their season opening tournament. Regular season play starts October 18th versus King's University. Saturday night, the Junior Club World Cup wrapped up in Sochi, Russia. Team AJHL finished with a silver medal around their neck. The team, coached by Bonnyville Pontiac's bench boss Rick Swan, was composed of all-stars around the league. The team lost one game during the round robin, but clawed back, making it all the way to the gold medal game. The AJHL All-Stars lost in the final 3-0 to local Yaroslav. This is the Russian team's third win in the last 4 years. Special honors go out to Alex Young for winning top forward and Michael Benning, who won top defenseman. The Holy Rosary Raiders football team took part in some preseason action this weekend. The Raiders hosted Medicine Hat High School Mohawks on Friday. A stellar defensive performance by the Raiders led a 17-0 win. The Raiders had a fumble recovery and 4 interceptions, with one ending up in a Raiders score. The Raiders will now get set to take on Lloyd Comp on Friday. Now we're going to Eric Bay, who is on location today.
Once again, we are back here at B. Fisher today talking about the Color Within Fun Run happening this weekend here in Lloydminster, and Kim Crockett joins me once again. And now we've talked a little bit about how this run is in fact raising money for B. Fisher. So can you talk about what that money will actually be going towards here within B. Fisher?
Sure, thanks for asking, Eric. Primarily what B. Fisher endeavors to do is we work with individuals who have got developmental disabilities. At present, we have close to 130 individuals that we work with, and we provide a variety of supports to these individuals, and it can range from providing employment search, job skill development, placements, and meeting their medical needs, providing supervision there, and then specifically because of the fun run and what we're trying to do to raise funds to improve our group homes, actually providing residential support, so 24-hour care, and giving our individuals really a safe place that they can call home under the care and supervision of some very caring and compassionate people.
And now what's the important, events like these, obviously fundraising, so how important are these funds here for B. Fisher?
Oh, it's critical, and I'm not sure if anybody's been listening to even news reports this morning, but we understand that we could be looking at a little bit budget tightening within the Alberta government, which is going to be one of our funding sources. And should that come to pass, we need to find other revenue sources. And when the community steps up and helps out B. Fisher in events such as these, it's a big boost for us. And as well, when we can just create some awareness for the work that we do, and it creates opportunities for our individuals to get involved and get out into the community, whether it be recreational or employment positions. Again, it's just a win for everyone involved.
All right, thank you for this. We're going to have some more from back here once again at B. Fisher, talking them and the Color Within Fun Run they are hosting here this weekend. But before we get to that, we are going to head back into the studio.
Quick look at the next 24 hours here. Fairly clear skies, maybe some middling cloud overnight, as you can see, but this low pressure system up top here is going to make its way across the northern part of the prairies, fortunately largely missing the Midwest region and the Lakeland region as well. So cloud cover will get thicker starting on Thursday, heading to the weekend, but at the moment we're not expecting any chances of any heavy rain, which we could see further north. Here's a closer look just at how little cloud cover there is overnight, and then heading into Wednesday as well. Relatively clear overall in the morning, and that should continue in the morning and afternoon. Just a little bit of cloud here and there starting at about 2 or 3 p.m. Your next 24 hours temperatures there dropping down to the low teens fairly quickly, getting to its peak by 5 a.m. where it'll be +10, then right back up into the mid-teens by 10 o'clock and into the 20s once again in the afternoon, which is excellent to see, though we shouldn't get used to this temperature now that we've hit September. 22 degrees in Marwayne as well as in St. Paul, Vegreville at 23 degrees, Edmonton down to 24 after being at 25 through most of the last couple of hours. Green Lake and Meadow Lake sitting at 22 and 23 degrees respectively. St. Walburg also at 23, Maidstone at 22, and the southern part of your map there, Macklin, still nice and warm at 28 degrees. North Battleford not doing too bad for themselves at 25 as well, plus plenty of sunlight in that region, although the wind has remained fairly strong coming out of the west-northwest. That wind will calm right down this evening. and the temperature again will drop to 10 degrees. 22 the high for tomorrow with a little bit more cloud cover, but the winds won't be quite as strong coming out of the east-southeast. Now in Cold Lake, 23 degrees with a low of 11 expected overnight, and there is an outside chance of some showers because they get a little bit more of that low pressure system in the region. Still a fleeting chance at the moment, so keep your eye on the alerts in the region. A little bit of sunlight certainly expected throughout the day there. Wind obviously shifting, as you see again, from the west-northwest to the southeast. 23 degrees dropping to 10 overnight, right back to 23 tomorrow. Again, not as much sunlight as we experienced today, but still plenty of sunlight throughout the day, just a few cloudy periods here or there. The wind fairly steady, as you can see there, 7 kilometers per hour, but again, a shift to the east instead of from the northwest. Overnight, we'll have a little bit of cloud cover as well, but not anything too strenuous. 20 and a low of 12 on Thursday. Then the cloud cover picks up on Friday, where we'll have 20 degrees with a low of 8. Chance of rain certainly on Saturday, 19 degrees, 18 on Sunday with continued heavy cloud cover and a possibility of precipitation there. Then 14 on Monday and 13 degrees on Tuesday. As I said, don't get used to those 20s because we're getting right down to those mid-teens by the end of the next 7 days.
Once again, we are back here at B. Fisher today talking about their Color Within Fun Run happening this weekend, and Kim Crockett joins me once again. And now we've talked fundraising, the importance of this event this weekend to you guys. And now if people maybe can't make it out here, want to help more so year-round with the B. Fisher, how can they get involved and, maybe help raise some funds?
Okay. Well, one of our biggest needs, Eric, really is probably in the area of employment opportunities. We've got a large group of individuals that are fully capable of doing work in a variety of businesses, and many small businesses here in Lloydminster, and large ones as well, they have stepped up and stepped forward, and they've created employment opportunities for some of our individuals to get involved. These individuals, they often will come with a job coach, with some sort of mentorship right on the job themselves, and really what they need is just an opportunity to come and get involved. And the best thing at this point would be to give us a call down at the center. 780-875-3633 is our number, and we can speak in detail about what sort of opportunities, what the skill sets might be of our individuals, and how they might benefit some of the local businesses here in town.
And now, once again, just real quick, I know we talked about it earlier, but if people did miss it, how can people get involved here this weekend with the Color Within Fun Run, whether that be participating or just coming out to support?
Sure, you bet. So the big thing is the time and the place. So it's this Friday, September the 6th. Registration is at the Bud Miller Picnic Shelter. It starts at 5:30, goes until 6:30. The run will start pretty sharp right at 6:30. Participants can still come out and get involved. There's still maybe a need for a few volunteers in a few positions. And again, just give us a phone call. In other words, just feel free to come on out, enjoy the evening. It's going to be a really good time.
All right, thank you once again for doing this. And we are going to have some more from back here as we continue to talk about the Color Within Fun Run, as well as what the B. Fisher does here in the community as well. So we're going to have all that and more coming up. But before we do get to that, we're going to head back into the studio.
Obviously, movies might not be on everyone's mind, given that we're just getting back into the school swing of things, as it were. But as we talked about earlier, hasn't been a great year for movies thus far, with a couple of main exceptions. Plenty coming up, which is why our question of the day was, what movie or movies are you looking forward to this year? And the most common answer we got is still months away, which is Star Wars Rise of Skywalker, which isn't until, I guess, a week before Christmas time.
Yeah, I mean, I am not much of a Star Wars person, but I know that one has been talked about a lot. Disney just unveiled their new resort, their Star Wars resort, so that was really cool, kind of leading up to the movie and stuff like that. But there's just so many movies in just like 3 months that is just incredible, with so many well-known actors in each and every one of them, so I'm really excited.
Obviously, and as you said, that's going to keep you occupied certainly till we get to Rise of Skywalker. I guess the other thing to remember is it's the official last saga movie, so it's the end of 1 through 9 of their 3 trilogies.
Yes, which is extensive and very long, very long, but hopefully it lives up to all the other ones as well.
If it does not, you know you're going to have many an angry Star Wars nerd shouting out into the void on Twitter. For now, we're going to not shout into the void. We're going to get right into something cute and cuddly, and that is Pet of the Day, starting with Taz, Sandy, and Bob. That's an interesting looking trio.
Yeah, adorable trio with all very funny / unique names to go with them. Very adorable.
And next up here, Moose. We're continuing in the interesting names trend.
Yes, gorgeous dog. I love how the ears are out flat, out straight, but a little bit curved at the end. Very cute.
Got some bat wings on him. Palmer is a little less excited than our previous entrants, but he's prepared in case he falls in the water.
Yes, very cute, especially with that life jacket on, and a gorgeous photo as well, capturing the sun on Palmer. Is very adorable.
Thanks again, Desiree, for that submission. Leo is our next entry.
Very adorable little kitten looking up with those gorgeous eyes. Super cute.
And we'll finish off with Jersey, who's a little camera shy, maybe?
Yes, or maybe wants to go outside. Looks like he's by a door or a window. Probably wants to go out and go and run around. Very cute.
I'd want to run around right now, too, if it was this warm. Remember, you need the picture and the name of your pet to win that free gift card.
We want to see your pets. Send photos of your pet and their name to our Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram to have them featured on Pet of the Day. Your name will be entered into a weekly draw for a gift certificate from the Pet Pad.
Inside the CPCA, brought to you by the Canadian Professional Chuckwagon Association.
Welcome to Inside the CPCA. I'm Greg Buchanan, joined right now by a man that needs no introduction. He's a 2019 High Point Award winner. He is a CPCA champion. He is Todd Baptiste. Todd, how does that sound when you hear something like that?
It's been pretty surreal, Greg. The season's been, a kind of a dream come true for us, especially for myself. All seasons has just been really hard to believe it's already gone.
We always ask you on the CPCA Radio Network, where is there one moment during that season where you thought, we have something special here, and I could not just win the High Point Award, I might not just win the CPCA championship and a runner-up at the Calgary Stampede, but this all came together. Was there a moment during the season where you thought, hey, I have something pretty good?
I think we knew right from the get-go, from the spring, just by the way the teams are running, the horses are feeling, and from there it just kept on going, and that was huge for us, for the success we had.
How does this motivate you for 2020? Because you're going to have a huge target in your back in the CPCA, and for that matter, a huge target in your back in the Calgary Stampede, to motivate yourself to make it back-to-back.
It's always good, Greg. I mean, for anybody to be on top of their sport is always good for the driver and for the sport of chuckwagon racing. For me, we just go back to the drawing board. It's a new year. It's a fresh start, so we'll go see what happens.
Another Baptiste will be joining you.
Yeah, we're planning on adding on another guy into our barn, my brother Ryan. So that's going to be exciting for him. And after this year, it's going to motivate him to be able to drive himself to that kind of success.
How quickly to get ready for 2020?
It starts right away. It started right from the end of Lloyd Finals.
Okay, and that is Todd Baptiste for Inside the CPCA.
I'm Justin with Boom 1019 and 93.7 Win FM, and here's what's happening. There is a slew of concerts coming your way, and kicking it all off is TLC. They are bringing their show to the River Cree Resort and Casino on September 4th. Make sure you go chase some waterfalls with them, because it is going to be a good time. And then literally the next day, the very next day, you can catch Carly Rae Jepsen. She is bringing her dedicated tour to Winspear on September 5th. Another fantastic show. And then after that, Sir Elton John is bringing his Farewell Yellow Brick Road tour to Rogers Place. That is going to be insane. If you haven't caught Elton John before, you're going to want to do it on this one. He added 2 shows, so September 27th and the 28th. The 28th was the second show, and I've been looking online. Tickets are still available. Depends on your price point, how picky you want to be with regards to where you are at with the stage. But I do recommend you check this one out if you can. It is going to be a good time. So there's 3 amazing concerts that you don't want to miss. Now, as we move into fall, it means we got to clean up and get ready for all the stuff we're going to get at Christmas and all that fun stuff. Saturday, September 7th from 9 to 2, you can join your neighbors with a fall cleanup and garage sale over at the Service Sports Center in Lloyd. I'm Justin with Boom 1019 and 93.7 Win FM, and that's what's happening.
Today here I'm joined with Becca from the SPCA, and she's brought in this gorgeous little kitten named Ginny. So tell me a little bit about her.
Yeah, so we think she's about 4.5 months old, still pretty young, a little bit skittish sometimes, but she's doing pretty good. Just warms up to people pretty quick. She's purring right now, wants to explore. She's spayed and ready to go. She just went up for adoption this past weekend here. So, and then she is going to go hang out at Pet Value. Until she gets adopted.
Awesome. And how is she around, maybe other cats or even dogs or kids or something like that?
I think initially, just like with us, she would be a little bit shy, but I think it wouldn't take her too long to warm up. I think she would enjoy a playmate and another cat or kids kind of thing too. Any big dogs, again, like I said, she'll probably be a bit timid, but I mean, if they're good with her, then I can see her warming up as well.
And how are you cat-wise? I know you mentioned a little bit off camera about it.
Yeah, we are full to the brim again. Calling off our waiting list and then just the random strays that have popped in kind of thing here and there. But yeah, we are full. So we imagine probably in a couple weeks we may have to have our fall feline frenzy. So definitely keep your eye out for that. But yeah, we don't really have too much issues, with kittens getting adopted. It's just our adult cats that are having a tough time finding homes. Yeah. So if you're looking for an adult, come check us out.
And with the fall frenzy, what would that entail? Like, what are the details?
It would be like discounted prices again, probably mostly for the adult cats. Like I said, kittens seem to go pretty well, but again, we'll assess our situation again there to see how many we have. We have lots of kittens in shelter right now that aren't up for adoption, so that's part of it as well too. So they just need to get spay neutered and good to go. But yeah, it really will just depend on our status in a couple weeks here, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah, it always seems to just go so fast, and then it's back to being filled.
Right back up.
Yeah, so there's just an endless cycle.
Yes.
You have a couple events coming up, including the Fall Frenzy.
Yeah.
What are those?
So we're going to be at the fall registration this week at the multiplex. And then not this weekend, but next weekend, we're going to have our our adoption event at PetSmart. And then also that same weekend on the Saturday, I think it's the 14th, we're going to be at the Fall Fest at Bud Miller. So hopefully, again, like I said, hopefully it's nicer weather, but we will be there doing our glitter tattoos.
And with the adoption weekend at PetSmart, same as usual, or is there anything different going on? Or
for the most part, we're just going to try and bring as many kitties just to showcase them, sort of thing. And if we have any dogs that are good to be out in the, happy to be around a bunch of people, we'll definitely take some dogs as well too. But yeah, we'll be there from Friday to Sunday, and I believe we're going to try and do 12 to 4 both Friday and Saturday, and Sunday we're going to do 12 to 3.
And with the Fall Frenzy, is there a date set for that, or is it just...
As of right now, it's really more just a thought. So, I mean, I imagine if we are going to have it, it'll probably be closer to the end of September.
All right. Yeah. Well, quickly before we wrap up, just a couple of the important dates, like the adoption event at PetSmart and then the registration.
Yeah, so it's this Thursday, I believe, is the registration. So I believe that's, all the sports and things like that too that you can sign up for. And then our adoption weekend is the 13th to the 15th, I believe. And then the Fall Fest is the 14th, the Saturday as well.
Okay, well, perfect. Thank you so much for bringing in this adorable kitten and talking just about your events.
Absolutely.
Pet Project is brought to you by Quick Pick Waste Disposal, Lloydminster's #1 waste and recycling hauler. Quick Pick is waste collection you can depend on.